Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you may be on this stamp collecting planet of ours, and beyond, even. Yes, man has left, and woman has left the planet. And I have found some stamp sheetlets in the bottom of a drawer, so I thought I'd share those with you while it's a lovely day today. So we're talking Scotland, we're talking the Isle of Staffa. These are not official stamps, but they were produced by these islands around Britain, and people collected them, and they're probably, they're probably worth nothing. They're a couple of quid, and then postage on top of that, maybe. So let's have a look at one or two of them. This is a pharaonic costume, so they're looking at the pharaohs and the Egyptology, which is very, very interesting. So let's look nice under the AI and see what AI would say about those. So we continue, and here we've got Guernsey. Now I dare say that Guernsey is another of those islands in Scotland, and I'll be correct. Also the gear is here. 21st of May 80. Again, Egyptology to the fore. Paintings from the tombs of Thebes. That's nice. Complete, unadulterated sheetlets of 2, 4, 6, 8 of 8, and there's a second one. And indeed, a third one. Okay, what's up next? Well, here we're still staying with Egyptology and Scotland, and this is Ain Hallow. Sounds very Wicker Man, doesn't it? You're not quite sure whether you should be going to these islands. They're producing their own stamps. What's going on in those places? It's a little bit scary. Yeah, so there's one sheet there. Just look at the back. Still got the gum on them. Yep. Turn these over to have another look, and we're back to Guernsey again. Something slightly different now. So we are looking at Silver Jubilee Queen Elizabeth II, 1952 to 1977. Here we got some monarchs. Queen Elizabeth II. And these are from the Berneira Islands of Scotland. So Mary here, Queen Mary, Bloody Mary. Queen Elizabeth what am I looking at here? Queen Mary II. Queen Victoria, whose surname was Victoria. Here we've got the Isle of Man shield. There we've got the Queen's Silver Jubilee iconic thing, and here we have Her Majesty the Queen. And here we have, this has got to be Queen Anne. Is it? Yes. And this has got to be Good Queen Bess, Queen Elizabeth I. And it jolly well is. 1st of December 77. Nice 1, 2, 3 sheets, 4 sheets. Back to Scotland again. Here we're looking at Berneira Islands again, and it's... I don't know what's going on here. Egyptology? Yeah, I think it looks Egyptolic. And we do have 1, 2, 3, not sure what I'm doing, 4, 5, 6. Right, back to Guernsey, another of those. Now we've got, again, the Berneira Islands. And here we've got David. Well, we've got monarchs. So let's start at the beginning. So here we have Edward the 7th. Here we have Edward the 8th, the Lion King. Here we have Edward the 7th again, and here we have Edward the 8th again. Here we've got George the 5th, the Sailor King, as he was known. Here we've got George the 6th. And again, so that's quite different, isn't it? So we've got some more writing here. 25th anniversary of the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. Sure, she appreciates. Edward the 8th, all over this. And I've got a number of these sheets, which is lovely. Very lovely. So many of them. And back to the Queens. And back to the Kings, which are very, very fascinatingly good. Yeah, let's see if we can get anything more, anything a bit different. Now we're back to Stafford. So we move those, and then we'll stay with Stafford, and we're looking at Scotland. We're looking at the football. We're looking at the World Cup in Argentina, so that would be 1978. Arsenal, I'd say that is. Brazil, I'd say, probably. Tottenham? I don't know, to be honest. I'm not sure. And there are a number of these sheets. Some, and these are actually stuck. So we separate those for now. But 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, knock on the door. Staying with these Scottish Isles. These fake stamps. Stafford. We've got a lot of... I mean, what you could do is just investigate, Google maybe Stafford. Ein Hallow here. And it's to do with flowers. Again, there's some elements of being stuck together about them. Flowers tend to bore me a little bit. I've seen those. What about fruit? Tutti frutti. Fruit can be quite fruity. Holy Island, Ein Hallow. So is Hallow Holy and Ein Island in Gaelic or even Gaelic. I don't know, it's a good shout though, I think. Here we got some fruit, so we got blackberries and raspberries maybe, or maybe it's blackberries that haven't come to fruition yet. Crab apples, honeysuckle. Let's see what this says. Blackberry, yeah. Goiter rose, I don't know what they are. I won't be eating any. Don't know what that is. White berry. Black bryony. And woody nightshade. I won't be having any of that either for my breakfast up in Scotland, or indeed anywhere. I think we're coming to the end of the stamps that are made in sheets and from the year 72 around, and we've got something a little bit different here. Here we've got Der Chef, the Second World War leader of Germany. Germany calling. So we've got a bit of a sheetlet there. 3 times 5, which is 15 heads of this particular character. And there's 6 pfennigs, and it says Deutsches Reich here. So a lot of shouty going on, I would say, from these. We will move those quickly aside. And what on earth is this piece of paper? Der Stahlhelm. Ortsgruppe Psyche. So what is Stahlhelm? It's steel helmet. It's a steel helmet, which was an organisation for soldiers coming back from the First World War in Germany, in Deutschland, and setting up a sort of proud to be German type organisation. I think you get the idea. And this is Gruppe Downs, I don't know, is the fact, but we've got a list of stuff. Could these be people who've signed up for this particular group? I think it might be, maybe paid their subs. That's a nice little document, that. Do we have a date? Trouble with Germans is there's so much efficiency going on that they forget. There's so much that I can't read what the date is or what it's all about. If you have any idea, let me know. I ain't sure. Okay, next we'll go. I'll leave the pièce de résistance to the end. Here we've got a United States stamp, 6 airmail. It is middle of the war, so 1943, February, US Army Postal Service, and it's to Lieutenant S.B.C. Wood, Port Director's Office, Chestnut and 2nd Streets, Philadelphia, US of A. Passed by naval censor. and its sender is Lieutenant JG H.G. Viate, U.S. Naval Reserve Armed Guard Center, 52nd Street and 1st Avenue, South Brooklyn, New York. Pretty tough area. Now, is it then? Was it then? I don't know. Also, this has not been opened by the look of it. So I think we'll keep it unopened. Interesting though, not open. Okay, something more British now. Rotherham, 1939, so November, so we're talking again the war. 5:20 p.m. 25th November 39 from Yorkshire. And we've got 2 stamps. We've got a penny and a halfpenny, so a penny halfpenny in total, posted in the day. Whether that makes any difference, I don't know. Possibly they were saying do all your stuff in the daylight rather than at night when it can get... Was it during the Blitz time, bombing and stuff, or keep those lights off? Don't know. But it's interesting, isn't it? And it's to the Clerk of Works, West Riding Mental Hospital, Storthers Hall, Kirkburton, near Huddersfield. What's on the other side? There has been some sort of pin there to hold it together. It is empty. There's nothing in it. Someone has filed this. So the evidence of it being filed here and here with those, you know what it is. I don't know the name of it. It's a, and then you can put it in a folder. You know what it is. I don't, because I'm old and my memory is shot utterly. I do remember owning this though. And I also remember owning this, and this is, I'm saving this till last because I think this is fantastic, albeit tragic. It's been posted from Portsmouth, 8:30 p.m, April the 18th, 1915. And we have King George the Fifth, so it's right in the middle of the First World War, second year of the First World War. Second year? Yeah. We have it again there. It's to Private W.V.A. Bracher, and his army number is 5467. Private. Artist's Rifles, so he could be rifleman, but he's down as private. Number 1 hut, Meerut British Hospital, Rouen in France. What's on the back? Nothing. Nothing in it. But of course, with a name like W.V.A. Bracher, you've got a great chance of getting some information about what occurred, what is occurring, and what is he doing here. Well, the Artist Rifles were one of the early regiments of pals, if you will, so friends, people who were artists, people who were sculptors, people who were musicians would join up to fight the war, and they'd be assigned to the Artist Rifles, being artists. And he was a bit of an artist. He was a BSc. I don't know what BSc means, but it sounds a bit scientific, Bachelor of Science or something like that. I'm not sure, and therefore I'm not sure what he's doing in the Artist Rifles. But I did a bit of research. His father was a deputy under manager of the rates department in Portsmouth, which is where this was sent from, Portsea or Portsmouth. What is he doing in number 1 hut, Meerut British Hospital? Meerut British Hospital was an Indian hospital because there were Indian troops over in France and Flanders in the First World War, and they had their own hospitals, but he's ended up here at number 1 hut. Now, was he nursing there? Was he a casualty there? Rouen is on his way back to Britain, so he's been taken from the front lines, and he has ended up in a hospital in Rouen, which is on the coast of France, ready for transport back to Britain, Southampton, and subsequently Portsmouth, which did happen. The next piece of information I had was that his Father was his full name was William Victor Allen Bracher. His father was also William Bracher. His mother was Eliza Bracher. He had 2 sisters. He was their only son. He died, and he may have died out of uniform, albeit he died of typhoid fever, which was contracted over in France during his service. He succumbed in 1916, so he's probably lasted a year, and he's died in hospital in Portsmouth of that disease. There were no huge typhoid outbreaks. There were individual cases, there were cases of it, but not particularly huge outbreaks reported. But it's what he has succumbed with. His father lasted until 1936. William Senior, aged 80, I believe. William himself, William Bracher, was buried in Milton Cemetery. I may need to go back to that, but it's around the Portsmouth area. I did go online and I had a quick look, and someone has taken a photograph of the gravestone. And because it's not a Commonwealth War grave stone, it suggests to me that he's not in service anymore. So he's been invalided out with typhoid. So a tragic story. How I've managed to get hold of this, I can only think that I bought it when I visited York once, and I was after the sort of First World War ephemera, and this was one. Only when I got it home did I realise he was actually a casualty, albeit not a casualty of war. Well, he was a casualty of war, we can safely say that. Anyway, that is my favourite one from this little lot. Hope you've enjoyed it, something a little bit different. Stamp, of course, is everything. Stamp collecting fun. Less fun, but a bit of a tug at the heartstrings. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye for now.